All right, what's going on, everybody? It's a lunch hour on the day of Game 3. Nielson and Gazzola with you, getting you set here on the Oil Stream live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at Edmonton Sports Talk on TuneIn, on iHeart, or at edmontonsportstalk.com, and of course here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please hammer the thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel as we've surpassed 8,500 subs, trying to push towards 8,600s. Tommy Gazzola, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
Not bad. I'm doing good. Just new boot goofing out here.
Yeah. Wait. Say that again.
New boot goofing.
What is that?
Have you not watched Reno 911?
No, I have not watched Reno 911. Is it surprising that I haven't watched Reno 911, or?
Maybe a little bit.
I disagree.
I don't know if they're doing the show anymore, but it was a pretty funny show on Comedy Network.
Was it?
They did a movie. The Rock was in it. He dies in it. Yeah.
What's the line again? What's the line?
New boot goofing.
New boot goofing.
Look it up, and you're gonna laugh.
Okay. Now, is this because you're wearing new boots?
No, I just like the term new boot goofing. It's a great day
sorry.
outside. Lots of energy around the arena, inside the arena. Like, it's a good Monday, I would say.
Well, what was the buzz like? What was the buzz like there as people get ready for Game 3 today?
Well, with the players on both sides and both coaches, very focused. But among the media, in and around the building, fans walking around looking for autographs or just getting their new Oilers gear or just wanting to be around it, like really good. And like it's good when they've got the power washers, pressure washers out to make sure that everything's spick and span before it gets messed up by everybody tonight in and around the arena and in the mosh pit. But it's just, you can feel like it's nice and warm. This is playoff hockey. This is what we've been waiting for. So that's why, just a good mood. That's why we're new boot goofing.
Stop saying new boot goofing. You're driving me nuts. Zacticum's still kicking around. Zacticum, did you go to the mosh pit on Saturday?
I tried to. It was full when I showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
What time did you go?
Well, I probably should have showed up sooner. It was probably 6:15, right at puck drop. I showed up, and then it was full.
On, Zach.
Then I went to the tailgate party. That was full. Then I tried to buy the $5 ticket to get inside for the watch party inside Rogers Place. That was full. So
what'd you do?
We went to the casino. As you do.
Okay, and we still got to see the game.
Yeah, watched first period there, and then
right.
walked around. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's understandable. Look, so if you're going to go down there, go down early and make sure you get a spot. I mean, rookie mistake from Zacticum, but that's okay.
What is Zacticum wearing today? I heard you and Eric talking about it on the morning show, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Go ahead, Zacticum.
Well, I'm wearing an Oilers jersey to start.
He is wearing an Oilers jersey, an older one.
All right.
And I don't know. I've longer socks. I have old dad socks.
Yeah, he's got
the barbecue.
Tommy, you'd kill him today. If you walked in, you'd be like, "Go home and change." You would say,
Yes.
"Go home and change." Zach, put your leg up on my desk here. Just put your leg up on my desk. It's okay. Don't kick any of the. So see this, Tommy?
Oh my God, that is awful.
Like, what is this about?
Even like the disappointment on your face is all I needed to see.
I mean, I do respect the fact that he's also wearing cargo shorts with that.
Gross.
His lower body today is just on fire.
Oh my God.
It's nuts.
Go home and change, Zachary.
Nielson and Gazzola with you. We are presented by Boston Pizza. Fuel your fandom with the Boston Pizza playoff menu featuring the halftime square footer, flight of wings, triple play platter, and the new Chipotle chicken quesadillas. Fuel your fandom at Boston Pizza. Had myself a Boston Brute over the weekend, actually, Tommy. Still good. And I always think like half a Brute is usually enough, but how do you not want the full Brute?
It's that good.
You got to take her down.
And it's an OG menu item, like from
the
original BP early days. I think, where did it start? Was it Jasper Ave, White Ave, or somewhere here in Edmonton, Fort Road, something like that? But yeah, that's one of the, 3 menu items that is from the original BP.
It's been around. It's been around there forever. It's it's absolutely it's perfect. Let's see here. I like this. Birdie Booze is on the road today, hanging with me at work. Oh, that's
all right.
That's the Birdie Booze, the poster. That's up there. That's in from Sarah today. Sarah and Cal. That's Sarah and Cal. That's Tommy. You know Sarah and Cal.
Yep.
Cal and Sarah. Sarah and Cal. Yeah,
and
Cal
Sarah. Yeah.
That's real nice.
I might have given them one of the posters that Schmitty had printed out and made and brought to Hudson's White Ave. I might have said, take it.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, I think we got one still kicking around here as well. All right, Tommy, you said good vibe today down at the rink. I mean, the big news.
Very good.
It was funny. Darren Dreger, when he was doing his hit with us this morning, his phone kind of beeped a little bit like he got a text. He looks down. He goes, oh, Adam Henrique is in tonight. So we knew then. We didn't know exactly who was going to come out, which it worked out really well. For the rest of the show, for us, we got to discuss, all right, who should come out, who should come out, who should come out. RCN said it was going to be Carrick because Bob and Jack said it would be Carrick after the last game. Backfired a little bit because it ends up being Ryan McLeod. I didn't think he'd do McLeod. I thought he was maybe going to go Derek Ryan, throw Henrique with McLeod and Fogle. It's funny. Like in that last series, we kind of said the same thing, man. I didn't think he'd do it with Skinner. Thought he'd ride Skinner out here a little bit longer. He went to Pickard and it worked out. Now he's going away from Ryan McLeod, maybe just for a game. But when you watch this team play right now, Tommy, that is the right decision. I just didn't think a coach would do it.
Yeah, and good on him. I said it post game the other night, like the move to make would be to take out McLeod, and listeners and viewers were saying, get McLeod out of there, get McLeod out of there. And I fully understood and was on board with it, but I'm like, I don't think that's the thing that's going to happen. I think he takes out Brown or Carrick, and sure enough, he proves us all wrong. And he goes and he takes out McLeod, and he's calling it a reset for McLeod. And a lot of people, kudos to our listeners and viewers for saying, hey, you need him to have a Stu Skinner moment. Go talk to Papa Euler, Sam Gagner, and then come back strong like the way Skinner has. So that is the opportunity that's presented before Ryan McLeod. It's a testament to how well Carrick has played. Good on Connor Brown for scoring a goal. That line has been good. You're not touching it. It's ridiculous. You guys are saying it on the morning show. We're actually saying don't touch the fourth line.
I know. It is nuts.
And there were some, and I kind of thought about it too. I said it out loud on the post-game show. I'm like, maybe you take out Derek Ryan, and, he made the mistake on the second goal, was too passive on how he played it on the wall, then gets knocked over instead of a quick chip and getting it out for the safe play and letting Dallas reset. And I thought it out loud. I'm like, maybe that gets Derek Ryan pulled out of the lineup. Not the case. So Henrique goes in, and Kris Knoblauch says, all right, Ryan McLeod, we need more from you. And they absolutely do. He's got the cajones or cojones, if you want to say it properly, to make a move like that. And we'll see if he's rewarded, And then the other thing, too, is how is Adam Henrique? What kind of impact will he have? Will he be better than Ryan McLeod? I'll just say this, probably. From a production standpoint, it can't be worse. If he gets involved at all physically, it's a positive. You know what I mean? Yes.
We'll see. Well, that's where I wanted to kind of go next, Tommy. Hey, if you have any questions, if you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart, you can hit us up at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Of course, if you're watching over on YouTube, hammer a thumbs up for us and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What's a fair expectation for not just Adam Henrique, but Henrique between Derek Ryan and Warren Fogle? What do you think of that line?
I don't know what it's going to provide outside of, I think that is three good veteran NHL players that know how to play in the postseason and should emphasize, bold, italic, underline, should be responsible both ends of the rink and perhaps give you a little bit of offensive jam, because you're going to take as much as you can get against a very stingy Dallas team that is excellent on the road, especially this postseason. So should give you a solid 15-ish minutes tonight. Hopefully, if you're an Oilers fan, they can also win you a few draws, because as close as the face-off battle was the other night, I think it was just slightly above 50% favor of the Stars, and that's as close as Edmonton has been in this series. They also lost a lot of nights on the face-off dot to Vancouver. With Henrique in there, maybe he could be good, and then you've got Derek Ryan, who could take draws on his strong side backhand. So maybe it gives you some possession time, which could lead to some zone time, which could lead to potentially some offense. So that's what I would expect. Dusty, I don't expect them to get caved in. I expect them to do the right thing 9 times out of 10, hopefully 10 times out of 10. And again, like you prefaced at the start of the diatribe, it can't be worse than what McLeod's provided.
Haggard Prospector is in and says, Clowder is great at skating fast and losing the puck. The bar is low for Henrique. And we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
For Adam Henrique. Do you think they contemplated Perry at all? We had a lot of people today asking about Corey Perry, and I simply said, look, they're 3-1 since they took him out. I think they've looked like a better team without him. I don't see a reason. Like, there's nothing that I'm seeing from Dallas in this series where I was like, oh, you know what the Oilers should do here? They should counteract this with Corey Perry. You know, I don't think it's time. I don't think it's time yet. Maybe it is at some point, but I don't think they're there just yet.
Yeah. I don't get the sense that Corey Perry has garnered a lot of consideration so far. I mean, we're 2 games into the series. Yes, he didn't play the last couple against Vancouver, but I think where his opportunity might present itself to get back in is if a Connor Brown falters and really doesn't give you anything, and if a Derek Ryan struggles with the maybe physical side, if we see the Stars pick it up physically and they outmuscle him. That's where I could see an opportunity presenting itself for Corey Perry to get back in, a bigger body, obviously postseason savvy. Again, it's a testament to how well the guys in the bottom 6 are playing, Ryan McLeod aside, obviously. And then B, like, just the type of game that's being played on the ice right now in the conference final. Not a lot of room for error. You need to be quick. You need to have your decision-making be at an elite level because the games are only going to get faster and harder as the postseason continues on. And you don't have any time for people that are stragglers. So, I don't think Corey Perry was getting a lot of consideration. Now, I'm sure they're very well aware that he's available, and if the situation, the proper one, presents itself, maybe they get him in.
Let's see here. RCN does slide in here and says, it's interesting. Inserting an already slower player coming off a high ankle sprain, no less, certainly is a choice. I think what the choice is here, Tommy, is that's how poorly Ryan McLeod has been playing.
That's a good point.
Ryan McLeod going up, could he not have attempted to get in front of the shot in game 2? He kind of like veers off to the right. And then, there doesn't seem to be, like, he's not willing to put his body on the line right now. He's not.
Yeah.
Watch the playoffs. That's not a hot take. It's just the truth. No. It's the take that every single person who's watched the Oilers play has, and it's a good one. It's that simple.
It's accurate. It's an accurate take.
So watch. I think it's a great thing I could see Ryan McLeod watching for a game and coming back and actually making a significant positive impact in the second half of this series. There's no reason to think that couldn't happen.
Sure. Now, Henrique and his ability to skate, like, in the practices we've seen, even before they were flying out to Dallas, like, he looked like he was moving good, and he looked like he had that extra push off. Like, Sean Bell was talking about it on Hello Hockey, how when you have a high ankle sprain, you don't have that extra little push off your foot because the ankle's not giving it to you. It's obviously injured. And Henrique looks like he's got that step. How slow as a group, let's work on this as a group project, do we think Adam Henrique is? I know he's not as speedy as Ryan McLeod, but if he's a downgrade in overall speed, but he's an upgrade in smarts on the ice, hockey IQ, let's call it, isn't that a wash, or is it? I think it's an improvement in the lineup, regardless if he's slightly slower than Ryan McLeod. And I don't view him as a slow player. I think he can skate. I just don't think he's moving a million miles an hour the same way that McLeod's a bit of a water bug out there.
Well, I think the other thing is, what has McLeod's speed gotten him? It's got him
a couple of times through the neutral zone.
He hasn't scored a goal since March. He doesn't have an assist since April. Who cares if he skates fast? Like, honestly, he doesn't play like, I'm sorry. Right now, all he's doing is skating well. That's it. And penalty killing well.
But where's he going when he's skating fast?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
What is he doing with that
What has he done with skating fast? All it really does is it allows him to sort of skate around past people so he doesn't have to take the hard route to the net. So
he does it super quick right now.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, we'll see what Henrique brings, but I don't think they're missing a lot in Ryan McLeod tonight. Like, I don't think you're coming out of the game, win or lose, going, damn it, Knoblauch screwed them over by taking McLeod out of the lineup. I just don't see that take becoming a thing. Let's see. Induced Comic says he disrupts his play with his speed, but he doesn't hit. Well, yeah, he disrupts his plays as much as you can with speed, but could disrupt things a little bit more if there was any sort of threat of, oh, I better move the puck. This guy's gonna hit me. Instead, you see him coming quickly, so you just have to move it a little bit quicker.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't see that happening. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's get to this text message. And then actually, no, you know what? We'll quickly do this. We've got the Comedy Fest, the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. It's rolling into town. We gave away the VIP table for the Friday night show. Now we are going to give away a VIP table for the Saturday.
Yeah,
the Saturday show, which is Kevin Hart. There are still some tickets available for Saturday night. Friday night is sold out. For tickets, you can visit www.greatoutdoorscomedyfestival.com. Also, watch for our partners over at Alley Cat. They are the exclusive beer sponsor of the event, featuring our 6 o'clocker lager, which is absolutely awesome. The Great Outdoors Comedy Festival is coming to Edmonton July 12th to the 14th at Kinsman Park. We got a keyword coming up a little bit later on in the $100,000 hole-in-one. So let's do a little trivia for you right now. It's very simple. I mean, I want as many people as possible to get in on this. All you have to do is text in Adam Henrique's jersey number. What number does Henrique wear? Text that in right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Text in Henrique's number to 780-218-9999. You will go into a draw. We will draw one of you, and you will go into the grand prize draw for that Saturday night VIP table to see Kevin Hart at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Saddle on up and have some 6 o'clocker lagers and enjoy the laughs that you'll get there. All right, let's get to this one. I do want to get here. This is the one I wanted to get to before we did that contest. Hey, boys, happy game day. I just want to wish little Ben Stelter a happy birthday. Would have been 8 years old today. Let's go get a B-Day dub for Benny Boy. Missed that guy. It's super sad when you see 8 years old. I got a 9 and a 7-year-old. I just can't imagine what that Stelter family went through. But
there we go.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Had that card just sitting right there. Absolutely.
I have it on the
right on the background there. Yeah. He yeah. I mean, an all-time connection with the team. A super happy story along the way, and obviously a super sad story now.
Hope his dad Mike is doing all right. Mike's got his own battle.
I read a story that DVD wrote about Mike. It seemed it seemed encouraging.
Really nice guy.
At least, so that was nice. This just quickly ties in to the La Bamba from the DJ in Dallas after the Game 2 win. And I know it's one of the things that he does, like he'll play other teams' win songs. And I'll be honest with you, I'm here for the bit. Like, I think it's a funny bit. It just, he didn't know. It was unfortunate.
Yes.
And it seemed like it was one of those rare times where things actually just sort of went smoothly on Twitter. He just straight up said, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I definitely would have done it if I knew that it was a song coming from the relationship with Ben.
And
so
I
thought the way that it was all handled actually yesterday online of all places was actually kind of nice to see, Tommy. It was how it all went down.
And DJ Johnny Infamous kind of backed him up too. Johnny Infamous was the DJ in the house, or he is still, I think. And then Tyler Bosencool also does some DJing. I think he's in the Moss Pit as well. So that's one where you're like, okay, good. And I think, he was sincere. And listen, we talked about it a bit on postgame the other night. Like, Dallas does a great job of trolling opposition teams in the arena. I think their social media is pretty spicy too, in a good way. They like to engage, and that one was a miss, and they didn't know. And it's not like they're paying attention to the news in Edmonton. I know Ben Stelter, they have him on the NHL.com. There's some ads and stuff like that they brought up with him, but it's easy to miss, especially when you're in Dallas, a couple 1,000 kilometers away. Yeah, you're right, Dusty. That's one where I'm sure there was some dumb comments fired his way, but for the most part, it seems like it was like, okay, everyone gets it. He didn't know. All good. Don't do it again.
All right, let's continue with this game. Lots to get to. Let's get to a text from Eden here. Eden says, afternoon, boys. I don't think it's any surprise McLeod is sitting out. Fogle had some urgency in his game in Dallas. He clearly recognized that his line was struggling. McLeod treated it like a regular weeknight game. And I do think, we already talked about McLeod, but on the Fogle point, I do think there was some urgency in Fogle's game last game. Didn't you think that too?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
He's been okay. Like, he hasn't done a lot to wow you, but he was in on that goal by Brown.
Yeah.
Right? He helped contribute to that. So, As long as you're not hurting the team in your own zone or making dumb, boneheaded mistakes, he's going to stay in. Like, they need him. He's a 20-goal scorer. He can be offensive, and he can be dangerous. But I think, in the playoffs, guys' games change. Your role changes sometimes a little bit, and he's a guy that's kind of had to adapt. He's had to move around the lineup, and he's not the guy to take out in this situation. Plus, you want his speed and his general responsibility on the ice that he maintains. So, no, Fogel's been okay. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been a difference maker, but, he contributed positively in game 2, and look for more of the same and hope that he can get going offensively. But Dusty, the offense, both sides, it's been hard to come by in this series.
Well, yeah, okay. Are you a little bit surprised by that, Tommy? I thought we'd see a few more goals in this series. Like, I thought in the last game, look, and both Ottinger and Skinner have been great. These guys aren't playing as well as they are. I think the chances are there. The chances are there for these two teams to score a few more goals tonight.
Yeah. Okay, is it the defensive structure? Is it the afraid to make mistakes on both sides?
Maybe.
All of that's fact. I think there's the potential for this thing to pop, but I don't know, Dusty. And both teams seem I'm not going to say satisfied, but they're not put off by the lack of offense. I think there's an understanding that it's going to be tight, probably low scoring, and it hasn't frustrated the Stars. It hasn't frustrated the Oilers. Listening to them being in the room today from both sides, Jamie Benn, he was talking about how it's a battle. It's tough. They talk about how good the Oilers are defensively. The Oilers talk about how good the Stars are defensively. We're praising back pressure here. I think it's just an understanding that these games are probably going to be tight, and we're not going to see a team blow up for a 5-1 win or a 7-4 game like we saw against the LA Kings. It doesn't seem like that potential is there because it's going to be tight checking, fast pace, low scoring with both goalies on their game. I think it's kind of just they get it. Who makes the mistake, who capitalize on it on the one, and that's going to be the difference, just like we saw in game 2, just like we saw in game 1.
Nielson and Gazzola with you here on the Oil Stream. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer a thumbs up for us. You can also text us at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We'll give you a chance to get in on that $100,000 hole-in-one a little bit later on as well. Zach Tacum, you're working on Henrique?
I got a few clips.
Okay, we'll hear from Henrique and maybe Knoblauch. That'll probably be enough for us for sure tonight. The Tommy Gazzola will have your pregame show tonight. He'll be at Hudson's on White. Tommy, you get rolling at 5 o'clock tonight?
5 o'clock, Hudson's White Ave. Should be a lot of fun. Come on down. Take advantage of the drink specials. Good vibe over at Hudson's White. And the Nasties usually turn out. VR Montenegro, Mike's usually around. Rip City Step, always get to see him. Corey B when he's in town. Sarah and Cal in the park. Stop by, and Jay and Andrea. Always a good crew. Norman a Combine, his lovely wife Tracy and the boys. It's going to be good. And the patios are going to be going tonight, Dusty. Beautiful weather.
Beautiful.
And they have 2 patios.
God, so yes, they do.
It's going to be a blast. I'm very much looking forward to it.
That'll be a real good time tonight. Pre-game show gets rolling at 5 o'clock. Tommy will be there for post-game after from Hudson's on White if you'd like to swing by and join him over there. All right, let's get to portions of the show brought to you by Popeyes. If you've not yet swung by Popeyes, things just continue to get better. The new crispy chicken buffalo wrap is now available. 2 classic hand-battered and breaded mild chicken tenders with bold buffalo sauce, paired with fresh lettuce, tomato, mild or spicy mayo, wrapped in a soft flour tortilla. Available in-store or by delivery. That's another place we're able to find it all at Popeyes. Tommy, what did you think of Knoblauch and the very careful comments on officiating after Game 2?
That's him pushing it, hey? That's
as far as he's
going to go.
That's as far as he'll go.
Yeah. The Oilers had, 2 power plays the other night? Dallas had the 1. I think it was kind of flipped, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think power plays so far in this series are 11-3. Or 7-3, sorry.
7 or 6-3.
Yeah.
But it was much closer in Game 2. I remember that. But that good for him for trying. Don't necessarily know how much of an impact it would be. Edmonton had 2, Dallas had 1 the other night.
Yeah, and he's not saying. I thought it was interesting the way some people grabbed it was and clipped it, it sounded like he was being like, well, they need to call it the same both ways. And what he was actually asking for was for the standard of officiating to be very similar in the playoffs as opposed to the regular season, which I think a lot of us have been bitching about for years, but it's never going to happen.
No, it's not. They suck.
Like, it's just never going to happen. Like hockey in the play. No other league comes close to the change of regular season sport to playoff sport. It's not even close. I mean, and playoff hockey just gets officiated differently. You can listen to some people be like, well, actually, I don't think that. You're wrong. You're wrong. The NHL was saying, well, no, you're all wrong. Like, watch the games. It's wrong. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Gary Bettman would be like, oh, the officiating is great. Well, he's full of BS. So, and Belzy and I think Cass have said this too. They think it gets too fast for the refs in the playoffs, especially.
100%.
Yeah, so it is a tough job. I know we crack on them, and I tell them how bad they are. I say it all the time. They really are bad, and the bar is set so low. It won't change. We can clamor for it, and we do. And it's okay for Kris Knoblauch to say the standard needs to be the same or whatever. I thought, good for him. He's not a guy that really rocks the boat. He's mild-mannered, soft-spoken. I don't think it'll have any impact whatsoever on the officiating because I just, they hear it, or if they even pay attention, they're like, oh, whatever. Kris Knoblauch's not going to yell my ear off in the game because that's just not his nature. But good for him to say something. We had people saying that like Kenny Holland should go and blast the officiating, and I'm okay with that. Like, I think it adds to the drama, but what impact it might have, I think at this point in the playoffs, likely minimal.
Yeah, probably not much there, I think. Jimbo says, guys, I'm calling Oilers win tonight, folks. Got to go pull the can off the Dodge for some major engine repairs. Enjoy the afternoon, nasties. Wow, what a handy guy, eh? Going to fix a truck right now. That's incredible. And Chris says, guys, I hope the power play gets going soon. The big boys need to put some pucks in the nets. Tommy, your thoughts on where the power play is at? I know they haven't had a lot of them so far in this series, but what do you think?
Too cute. Just like whenever it has, quote unquote struggles or has had struggles this year, too cute. And they just take your lane, fire away, and crash and bang around Jake Ottinger. And I mean, for crying out loud, Dusty, it even permeated its way to the fourth line where Sam Carrick gets a nice drop pass on an odd man rush, and he could fire it, but instead he's looking for Connor Brown, puts it on his front foot, ends up being a soft shot from Connor Brown. Like, it is it's catching on with the rest of the lines. So it's contagious. Shoot the damn puck. And that goes for the power play too. Listen, they have set plays. These are the best guys in the world. They've had an unbelievable power play in the regular season, last year historically, this year in the postseason. But sometimes, simple is best. And I'm sure we're going to see more shots from that. You don't have to tell them. They know. Although I feel like there's going to be 18,400 people reminding them when they should take shots tonight, and maybe about 1.4 million around the city yelling at their TVs for them to shoot. And I feel like they're probably going to do that and try to crash and bang around Jake Ottinger. This is Zach Hyman's wheelhouse. This is where he's at his best. And you want that guy to go to work and like a dog on a bone, let him go. So I think we're probably going to see that. That's what's going on with the power play. We can all see it. They know. We'll see if they can adapt. And I'm sure Dallas is waiting for that to happen. So they're going to have to counter.
If you are looking for tickets to tonight's game or Wednesday's game, they are a sponsor of the Nielsen Show, but we like to give plugs all across EST here. Fansfirst.ca. You can go check it out, www.fansfirst.ca. They have tickets available to the game tonight and tickets available on Wednesday. I know somebody in our chat this morning says they've dealt with fansfirst.ca in the past and absolutely loved it. So if you are looking to maybe get to the game tonight, tickets available at fansfirst.ca. Zach, can you load up Henrique? Let's hear what Henrique had to say. Then we'll get to Knoblauch if we have time. We got the keyword for the $100,000 hole-in-one presented by Golf Town coming up here still in the second half of the Oil Stream today. But Adam Henrique drawing back into the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers. First time in a while that we've seen him in. Hopefully he's feeling all right. Here's what he had to say earlier today.
Certainly looking forward to getting back in the lineup. And then just wanting to be able to try and be a difference maker for the team.
What do you look at when you come in to kind of like jumping on a speeding train to pace the playoffs? What do you need to do early in that game to feel comfortable?
I think just those first few shifts, you want to just kind of get back into the rhythm, the flow of the game. You come out, play a simple, hard game, just get involved right away. And then I think that from there you just settle in. It's like riding a bike. Just get back on there and go. So been looking forward to getting back in the lineup for a little bit.
Adam, can you take us through the mental hurdles you've had to endure throughout this injury process? Of course, you tried getting in the second round series, didn't really work out. Maybe just take us through that and what you've kind of learned about yourself.
Yeah, it's I guess it was just a day-to-day kind of thing, mentally too. I think mentally probably harder than physically with certain things, and just not being able to be out there to help. It's more nerve-wracking watching than playing, and certainly learned a lot about that. So, but watching the guys, seeing everybody kind of come together and push through and battle, it was certainly great to watch and see the team continue to get better. And you're just itching to be a part of that. So it's nice to finally be here.
Adam, for someone to go in, somebody has to come out. What do you say to a teammate like Ryan, who's maybe had some struggles, but?
Well, I think this time of year, it's the big picture thing everybody looks at. And I think everybody understands that. Everybody goes through ups and downs, and you just have to, I think, have that big picture mentality. And, everybody's going to be called upon at some time or the other. And everybody expects, the other guy to be able to step up. And whoever's in or out of the lineup, I think we have all the confidence in every single guy here.
You look at the third line we're going to be on, just the need to kind of generate some offense from that line. It's kind of, regardless of who's played there, it's been the one line that hasn't been able to find some consistency. How do you help that out?
Well, my game, it doesn't really change. It stays the same. We're playing third line or up or center or wing or whatever it may be. So, hopefully we can just have some chemistry right off the bat. I think for us as a group or as a line, play a hard, simple game. Get up and down the ice, try to use our speed and use what we have to be effective and to try and be difference makers.
Adam, what have you liked from your group so far in this series and your ability to defend specifically?
Yeah, I think everybody's been involved. It's been a team effort. Seeing the guys stick together that first game and go through overtime and find a way to come out there with that one. Dallas is a great team. They had the pushback in game 2, but I think as a group, our game's where we want it to be, and we just have to continue to find ways to find wins.
Can you get a sense for the feel and the rhythm of a series from the outside, or do you have to go through your own feeling out process tonight?
I think a bit of both. I think jumping in the lineup, you'd find your own way and find where you can have a difference and be a difference maker. I think watching up top, it is a different point of view, I guess. Things tend to slow down up top, and you can see a lot of things and see a lot of plays. But Dallas defends well. They've been that type of team all year, so it's certainly nerve-wracking watching, and it's going to be nice to be back on the ice.
All right, there you go, Adam Henrique. Tommy, what'd you take away from Henrique's availability to there? I know you were right there in that scrum.
Yeah, I was actually holding the TSN mic because Shoggy's got a bit of a cold, so I will be invoicing them like old times for a full day's work, doing one scrum for them.
We'll see how that goes over.
Yeah, I won't get paid. I'm sorry, who? You know what? Well spoken, obviously eager to get back in. It's interesting his kind of the bit that he gave us in terms of letting us know about where he was at, like physically. Like it sounds like he's basically ready for game 2. And maybe even like if they really needed him, probably could have played in game 1, and they kept the same lineup, right? Didn't want to mess with the good things. So he's going to be excited. It sounds like a guy, like obviously level-headed. Good point about big picture for Ryan McLeod. Big Jerry Matajean asked a valid question. Like,
I love that question from Matajean, man. I thought that was a really good question. And for anybody who missed it, he basically said, what do you say to a guy like Ryan McLeod when you come back in? Somebody has to. I thought that was a great question from Jerry.
And a great answer. Big picture. Yeah. Like, you can't be selfish. Sure, you can be down about it because, you haven't performed to the level you expect. Maybe you feel like you're letting the team down a little bit, and you're trying. It's just not working. It's not clicking. Whatever. But yeah, like a good point. Who gives a crap if you feel bad? Like, get yourself in gear. Be ready to go when it's your turn again. It might be his turn again soon. Who knows? But yeah, it is big picture. There's only a few weeks left in the season. Could be as little as a week, depending how well you perform as a team. Big picture. So good point. No time to be sad. No sour grapes. Dust yourself off. And when you're ready to go, you're going to be called upon, and that's it. So good point.
If you want to ride with us on our EST parlay today, you can slide on over to Coolbet, our official betting partner here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Go to coolbet.com, click on exclusives, and you will find the EST parlay. Last time I checked, and when I got on it myself, it was 4-1, so that's plus 400. Connor McDavid over 1.5 points, a Zach Hyman goal, and an Oilers win. That's all we require to hit the parlay tonight. So if you want to ride with us, go to coolbet.com, click on exclusives. You'll see the EST parlay, and you can place a wager. Stay cool, bet responsibly. Don't bet with outside of your means. But if you want to hop on, have a little bit of a rush while you're watching that game tonight, you can certainly do that as well. If you're watching over on YouTube, please hammer the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Even the trolls, subscribe if you want at least. If you're going to troll, at least give us a sub, man. Like, come on.
Hey, our timeout button has been getting a hell of a
today.
Workout. Yeah, isn't it?
Busy today.
I see a lot of deleted messages. I've had to time out a couple people. They shall remain nameless because of their stupid handles, but I recognize them. One guy has like 5 or 6, and I'm all right, get out of here,
yeah,
dork.
I mean, that's pretty cool life.
Yes.
I have 5 or 6 different YouTube handles just to troll. That's
Sick,
awesome,
bro.
That's awesome, man.
Sick. That is radical.
My God. Text line is a much happier place. Mind you, I do think Awanik has banned one person from the text line too.
Actually?
Yeah. I can't remember who it was,
right. But
Maddie's lowered the boom on somebody on the text line too. So,
hey,
yeah, go ahead.
Really quickly, we've got a bunch of time left anyway, but we had this one guy who would call in at 1260 when we still took phone calls. The nasty chat has been way better, even with the trolls, than the phone line. And we had this one guy that would call in, and he would be like, "Oh, the Oilers got to get rid of Kenny Holland. They got to bring in Jim Benning." And like I caught on to it pretty quickly. So I told like Hernan and Connor, I'm like, don't ever let that guy get on the air. And I forgot to tell Jeff Walker about it. And the last game when Edmonton was eliminated, Jeff's like, we've had Terry on the line for the last 20 minutes waiting because he really wants to get on. I was like, shit. I forgot to tell Jeff. And I was like, okay, go ahead, Terry. I know where this is going. And sure enough, the Jim Benning stupidity came out. And I was like, goodbye, Terry. And then he got on Chad, and I've had a few people be like, did you talk to Reed about it? Do you guys share notes? I'm like, we're very well aware of that idiot. And unfortunately, whoever was doing the post-game producing for Riedrich didn't catch it, and Reed promptly dismissed him, as he does. But the game is funny with the trolls, but I think now it's better the way we have it set up than the way we used to.
It's funny you bring up the Reed texted me back on Wednesday, May 8th during the Canucks series. He texted me at midnight one night, and he goes, 2 of the 3 calls have been Canucks trolls. I was just like, yeah, that sounds about right, man. Like,
they do that.
Oh, that's too funny. All right. The Oil Stream brought to you by our great partners at Boston Pizza. Fuel your fandom at BP's. Swing on by, pick up an order tonight to take home. If you're going to watch the game, you can also slide on in to Boston Pizza lounges and restaurants, obviously, all across the city. They've got you covered at Boston Pizza, and they've got that playoff menu that they dropped here. Halftime square footer, flight of wings, triple play platter, and the new Chipotle chicken quesadillas. Fuel your fandom at Boston Pizza. Let's hear, we got time. Let's get to Knoblauch here. Let's see what Knoblauch had to say ahead of Game 3 against the Dallas Stars.
Do we think Henrique's in? And if so, who might be out?
Adam will be playing tonight. Ryan McLeod will be not.
So we all get how much you like Ryan's game, and he's a young player, and It's not easy to take a guy out. Do you see this as sort of the same reset you gave Stu Skinner? And I guess talk to us about taking a kid like that out of your lineup.
Absolutely, it's a reset. Clowder's going to be part of this team. Whether he comes in the next game or following, we're going to see him sooner than later. There's a lot to like about his game. A lot of it is from the penalty kill. He's been contributing a lot there with his quickness, his reads. 5-on-5 hasn't been playing quite like he had been, especially in the middle part of the season. In January, February was probably the top performance. I think it's important that he has just a little reset. We've got a lot of players that are playing well, and it's been difficult to take anybody out of the lineup, whether that's been Corey Perry, Connor Brown, Sam Carrick. We have depth. We've got a lot of good players that are healthy that can help us win, and right now he won't play tonight.
Center left, Ryan.
Just in terms of Henrique, waiting for him to be healthy enough to play, so what has that been like? Because I know he's been close, and maybe a decision has had to be made, for a game or two here. And maybe just a thought on you are losing some speed out of your lineup here, and it's been a pretty fast series, so I imagine you had to think a lot about that too.
Well, when Adam was available, felt that he was 100%, then we want him in the lineup. He's a very important player for us. He can kill penalties, he can be on the power play, and he's a really good 5-on-5 player. And there's games where we could have put him in. I would say he was very close, maybe not 100%, but I'm sure if it was the Stanley Cup Final Game 7, we would have had him in earlier than we are putting him tonight. But I think with his experience, his smarts, that he'll help us tonight.
Second row on the left.
Kris, is that the only lineup change tonight?
That was the only lineup change.
The matchup game for you, now you have a last change. We saw Dallas alter it a bit what they wanted in their matchups. Do you foresee, something where you will search for as we get deeper in the playoffs? You haven't really ever chased the matchup, but even for a few shifts, do you think now's the time? Do you hone in more on a matchup?
It all depends on the game or how the game's going. I think it's important for our guys that we have that flow. We have the four lines contributing, and we're not chasing a certain lineup. And there's certain situations, face-off location and possibly who they have out there, whether it's their forward line or the defensive line. But I don't think it's something that we're going to chase too much.
Third row on the right.
Kris, Dallas is 5-1 on the road in the playoffs. Are you seeing anything from them during their road games in the playoffs that's allowing them to be that successful? And do you see anything that you have to do to counter that?
No, I haven't seen any change from their home games to their road games. I think it's usually about the Edmonton Oilers. What can we bring? What we can be better at going from game to game. And, there's some things that we didn't like about Game 2 and things that we can maybe adjust and get a little bit better at. That's our focus.
Stay in the same row, Tony.
Good morning, Kris. I just asked Matthias Ekholm what he likes most about the team defense and the discipline that's needed to execute the way you guys have been in the opening two games. I want to ask you, he talked about the response, specifically when the team gets scored on. I ask you as a head coach, what do you like about your team's response? What do you like about the chatter that happens after your team gets scored on, or no chatter at all? What do you like most?
I think we've done a pretty good job of responding no matter what happens. And, obviously there's frustration when you get scored against or whenever there's a bad play or whatever it is. But I really like how our guys are able to put it behind them and just focus on the next shift. Because whatever happens in the past obviously has no effect on what's going to happen in the future. And we are in our position, and we just have to make sure that we're ready for the next play. And, I think our guys have done a pretty good job of that. So, and with the pressure of the playoffs, there's a lot of at stake. But, I think they've handled that adversity, that stress, those pressures very well, and we've continued to play pretty good hockey.
Last one, third row on the right.
Just one more for me, Kris. Last game, or in the first period, you guys came out, created a lot of opportunities offensively. Did you see anything in that period that you can bottle and take into this game?
No, I liked their energy. I thought we moved the puck really quickly and really competitive to win puck battles. And, you are playing fast, competitive. You put yourself in a pretty good position to make some plays. And, we need that effort, that mentality going into Game 3 and throughout the rest of the series. It's just part of what we need to do to be successful.
All right, there we go. That is Knoblauch from earlier today. Tommy, you were there for that. What do you take away from any of this?
Level-headed and no surprise really with the way they're playing. Like the game the other night came down to, yes, we talked about it earlier, simplify, shoot the puck. They know they have to adapt and be better that way. And then really like the difference for them, like, he talked about, no, we're worried about ourselves, obviously, and then don't really need to see too much change because what did that game come down to? A great tip off a turnover by some hustle, and then maybe slow decision-making on Derek Ryan's part that led to the point shot, which got the nice tip from Mason Marchment that went over. Like, that tip, Dusty,
yeah,
fortuitous, but the fact that he got it and he was tied up with, I think, Desharnais there, and then it's going this way, and it bounces back the other way and over Skinner's shoulder. Like, I don't know who's going to save that. I don't know who's going to see it because it was just a bang-bang play. From Kris Knoblauch, it seems like he's calm and he's in a good place. And he says, we're sticking to our process. We're kind of doing things right. Yes, they're going to tweak a little adjustment here or there. So I'm more curious, at least I was going into today, to see the demeanor of the group. And there's a calmness to it. There's a bit of a confidence to it. And they seem to be collectively in a good headspace. And they don't seem to be too worried. There's no panic. It seems more confident than it was against the Colorado Avalanche in the conference final a couple of years ago. And I think that's good. It puts them in the right place, mentally, and it'll allow them to play their game and let whatever happens, and they'll try to obviously control the pace. That's pretty tough to do against Dallas. They'll try to win the battles. That's where they need to be a little bit better as well, because they seem to, especially in the third period, they were a little bit slower getting to pucks, and they were losing some of the puck battles as well. So calm, cool, and collected again, which is a good place to be, and rightly so for them.
D. White over on the Nasty Chat says, Rupe Hintz is still a game-time decision. If he plays, we need to finish our checks every single time he touches the puck. Tommy, I know DeBoer just said game-time decisions. General thought process around the rink this morning that he does play tonight?
That is the thought, is that he gets in there. Pete DeBoer kind of hesitated when he was asked about it. He waited a second. He's like, he's going to be a game-time decision. So I do think we see Rupe Hintz. He did skate with the Stars. Even before Game 2, he was out there for their optional skate, but I think that they want to get him back in there. And the guy has been an Oilers killer at times. I mean, the speed, the skill, he's their top-line center. It just makes them even deeper, and they're going to have to be aware of him, check him hard, take the body on him, and, be aware, especially because he's one of those guys, Dusty, where there's been post-game shows the last couple seasons where Cass and I are breaking down how Rupe Hintz found a way to slip between the Oilers blue liners on a great outlet pass, and he gets a breakaway and scores on whichever goalie was in net for the Oilers over the last couple of years. He is deadly. And a lot of talk, too, that if Hintz gets in, how much better does Jason Robertson become?
All of a sudden become, because he's been quiet, right? Like he needs his running mate there. So that makes a lot of sense as well. Let's do this right now. Let's give you the keyword for the $100,000 hole-in-one presented by Golftown. Swing big this Father's Day and find dad or yourself the perfect gift at Golftown. Whether dad's a seasoned pro or just starting out, Golftown has everything he needs to hit the greens in style, from clubs and apparel to accessories, tech, and more. They've got it all covered. Can't decide? Keep it simple with a Golf Town gift card and let dad choose his gear from his favorite brands like Callaway, TaylorMade, Puma, Nike, Garmin, and more. This Father's Day, give the gift of golf. Visit the men's store at golftown.com. I got a little stack of Golf Town gift cards that I need to use right now. So Golf Town gift cards, man, there's nothing like it.
Shout out to Murray B for helping us set up this partnership. It's a great partnership. And then the other thing too is I was looking, they've got a monster sale going on right now, and they have the Stealth 2. I need a new driver. I've been talking to Murray McCourt, and it's down to like $500. It's like an $800 club brand new. I know it's last year's model, but I've got a couple of GCs left over, and I'm like, do I do it? Do I do it? I don't know.
Man, there's nothing like using GCs to go get a club, though, right? You're walking out of there with a driver that's like worth $800, was on sale for $5, and you only had to pay $2 because you had the GCs, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, ugh. But I was talking to a few people today, media, obviously, and I'm like, what do you guys think of the Stealth 2? And they're like, don't do it. Don't do it. So feel free to fire a text in and let me know if it's worth it or not if you've hit the Stealth 2. Go ahead. Sorry, Dusty.
It's on now. No, that's good, buddy. Today's keyword, final chance to get in, and then one of the 4 people who've qualified today will win a spot in the $100,000 hole-in-one. You can go and start working on your 180-yard shot. The keyword is drive, as in you have to drive the ball and knock it onto the green and roll it into the hole. Text the word drive right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in on that contest right now. 780-218-9999. All you have to do is text the word drive to the inbox right now, and you will go into the mix. Zacticum will randomly draw one of you after the show today. He will be in touch. We'll get your information, and you will have a 1 in 4 shot of winning a spot in the $100,000 hole-in-one contest. We will call our winner tomorrow on the Nielson Show. Tommy, I was just looking at that scrum around Henrique today. Massive scrum. I do have to ask you, are you the best dressed dude down there on game days?
I'm not.
Who looked better? I mean, you were looking sharp. You had the tie on and everything. Like
Gene Principe. He wins all the time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, Gino's.
I try. And there was a lot of casual today, like the Sportsnet Hockey Night guys.
Yeah.
Very casual today. Elliot Friedman was wearing an awful polo, Sportsnet branded polo that Jack Michaels said he immediately donated when he received his. David Amber, rock salt. That guy, he's classy as they come. He was looking good, but no, I wasn't. Gene was, and there's a few others that were looking really spiffy. So I try though. I really try, and people are like, why the hell are you, like Titch was like, what the hell are you doing? Like full suit and tie. And I'm like, it's the playoffs and we're supposed to be professionals. And then I just pointed at Gene. I'm like, if he's doing it, I'm doing it. So that's why
that's a good way. Yeah. What would Gene do? Right. WWGD. What would Gene do? Class. That's always a good idea. Rink report today. You had a rink report today. We'll have that up on YouTube a little bit later on. Who do you have on the rink report today?
Jackie Redmond, the one and only from the NHL on TNT and WWE. She's awesome. We're bubble buddies. We spent a lot of time together during the bubble. Irf Gafar and Dave Pagnotta, Dennis Bernstein as well. And so I had Jackie on today. She's great. She also breaks down some of her feud with Nia over at WWE. She pushed her. Nia did to Jackie. I didn't like it.
No.
I'm like, what's the deal with that girl? And she's like, I'm going to tell her Tom Gazzola said to stop. And I'm like, she's going to beat my ass. But it's a great rink report. It's coming up. I'm going to get it out there right after we finish up on the oil stream. Jackie's the best. She's so
all
good.
right. So watch for that rink report coming up a little bit later on our Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel. If you're listening on TuneIn, iHeart, or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Nielsen Show replay is on the way as well. Give us a sub here on YouTube before you leave. We would appreciate it. The oil stream brought to you in part by Popeyes and Coolbet and presented to you, of course, by Boston Pizza. The playoff menu is now available, featuring the halftime square footer, flight of wings, triple play platter, and the new Chipotle chicken quesadillas. Fuel your fandom at Boston Pizza. Tommy, you have a good pre- and post-game tonight at Hudson's on White. Pre-game show gets rolling. The GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows gets rolling at 5 o'clock tonight. Enjoy it all, buddy.
Dusty, 1.14 liters now available of Birdie Booze. Schmitty just sent it in to us.
What? When's that? Where?
Boom.
What?
He texted us.
Oh, Birdie.
They're good to go.
Birdie booze must be going well. I love it. All right,
Get
buddy.
that
enjoy the
40
day.
in ya.
Talk to you later, man.